Good evening, everybody. Hey, this is Joe Bullis. I am your clinical coach for MELS 602, and this is a pre-recording for our scheduled class of March 17th. As you know, I sent an email out saying that we wouldn't be meeting this Thursday, March 17th, due to it being spring break, and that I would do a pre-recorded session on some information I was going to go over regarding TaskStream, or we would just go over what we were going to talk about on March 17th at our next scheduled class. And due to the feedback that I got from you in email, I thought we would go ahead, based on that feedback, record a session. And what I had planned to do that evening was to go over TaskStream. So we're going to spend a few minutes going over TaskStream. It's not going to be a very long recording. You can watch it certainly at your leisure. And if you have any questions, let me know. If we need to do a follow-up Zoom with you as an individual or with your small group, we'll be happy to do that. I'll be going over all this information again at our next scheduled meeting, so we can go over it one more time. However, if you have any questions whatsoever and need some clarification based on this recording, just reach out to me and let me know. So we'll go ahead and get started. I hope you all are doing well. I'm going to clear something off my screen, make it a little bit more visual for you. So let's go to signing in to TaskStream. This should all be familiar for you now as we look at TaskStream. You've already went through a semester and a half of being familiar with TaskStream, and so we should be in familiar territory for you right now. All right, so first thing we're going to do is let's look at the DRF. If you remember, that is the direct response folio, the DRF, where you upload your evidences. So we'll go down to this sample that I created. And where we're at in 602, if you remember in 601, you uploaded your APSL evidence in the DRF. You uploaded, completed the competency analysis self-assessment in the DRF, and you completed the School of Ed disposition self-assessment and the DRF. That was for MELS 601. For MELS 602, all you will need to do in the DRF is just upload the APTL. So we go through all the tasks of the APTL in my Blackboard internship shell. You upload each task. I give you a review on each task. You make any revisions if they're necessary. Then we upload it to the evaluation Dropbox for a grade. We go through all the tasks to where we get towards the end after you do your reflections, and I say upload the APTL final evidence narrative for final review. I review the final draft of your APTL, give you a grade, and then in the comment section, I will tell you to upload a TaskStream or ready for TaskStream. I'm not sure exactly what Dr. Sanders does there. I think she might just need a email verification that I have reviewed it and say that it's ready for TaskStream. You know that better than I do what she's requiring. But anyway, at some point in time, I will say ready for TaskStream for the APTL. You take that final draft that was reviewed and graded, and you just go to the DRF and upload it to the APTL. We are certainly over midway to the semester, so you should be over halfway in completing the APTL. And if you're struggling with that or having some issues with that, let me know. I did send out some checking in emails this week with some of you, just kind of get an idea of what you were thinking and where you were at and getting those tasks completed in the APTL as we approach the end of the semester. Because after you finish uploading the APTL to the DRF, then what you will need to do is focus in on your competency folio. So the good news in 602 is that that's all you need to do in the DRF. Next semester in 603, will not do as much as you did in 601, but all you'll be doing is follow up on the School of Ed disposition. So as you can see, it's certainly a lighter load than it was in your first semester. And as I said before, you're more familiar with the process now, so hopefully it's flowing a little bit better. If you need any help completing the app tool, reviewing the task, understanding how to get it into task stream, I know sometimes it takes one or more than one time to do something to get familiar with it. Just let me know. But after you have uploaded the app tool, then as I said before, you want to focus in on your competency folio. Your competency folio was created last semester, and you're just going to add to what you created last semester in 601. So to access your competency folio, you go up here to folio and web pages. And then you will open up your competency folio. And just like you did in 601, the thing to do in your competency folio is take all the artifacts that you have accumulated in your work on the APTL and upload them into the appropriate leadership competency. We talked about the spreadsheet that was created and shared with us so graciously on what competency, what evidence goes with each competency. You can look at that spreadsheet, or and if you didn't receive that, let me know. We'll get it to you. But it's just a Excel sheet that shows all the competencies, and then the columns below that, what evidences go with that competency, and then you can just kind of check them off. Like I said, if you didn't get that, I don't know what I'm talking about, email me and we'll get that to you. But basically what you do is you go through each of the competencies: communication through vision. Those are visionary, excuse me. Those are the 21 competencies. You go through each of those, and anything that it has listed as needing evidence from the APTL is you upload an artifact that shows evidence of that particular competency. There's not anything in communication, so you don't have to upload anything in communication this semester. Change management, you don't have to upload anything there. Conflict management is the first one that you come across that is requiring an artifact from the APTL. So whatever you did in the APTL that shows evidence of your competency in the leadership area of conflict management. Now, what a lot of candidates think is conflict management is maybe discipline issues with a student, and that's not what it's asking here. Conflict management is where you bring resolution to some type of opposing opinion or view, or it could be a contentious situation if there are a couple of adults in the building that's having some problems, and you help mediate that and facilitate a resolution to that, then you can certainly do that. But what I'm saying is, in the area, when you show competency in these areas, it's asking for you to show competencies that is more correlated to a principalship, assistant principalship, school administrator. You deal with discipline in your classroom all day long. So what this is asking you is show us how you resolve conflict on an adult level, as a principal would do or an assistant principal do. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. It can be very positive. And I've gave this example before, but if you're in a PLC meeting and there's two differing views that's been presented, and you kind of facilitate the conversation on which one of those views that the team wants to adhere to or go with, or which direction the team wants to go with. That's managing conflict there. So conflict doesn't necessarily have to be negative. It could just be a conversation on what do we do now based on some different variables that you and the team go through. That's what we want to see. That's where we want to see the artifacts come from. And it could be a photo of you leading a team meeting, and in that situation, you might need to write a brief description telling what that picture is, how it represents conflict management, what happened in that meeting that picture represents. It could also be some emails that you've had back and forth with the team members on, trying to make a decision on the situation. So that could also be an example of conflict management. The main thing is that you upload something from the APTL. It needs to come from the APTL, not your internship hours. You can do that as an open-ended if you want to. But what we're looking for is going through all the tasks of the APTL and the artifacts that were created during the APTL. What do you have that shows that you are competent in the area of conflict management? Remember, you'll need to appropriately label artifact, so it will be easy for the reviewer to determine which one belongs to, in regards to conflict management, which one belongs to the APSL, which one belongs to the APTL, and which one is open-ended. And like I said, open-ended can be done at any time. If you have something good that belongs in the open-ended category, then you can put it in at any time. What we want you to focus on right now is getting those artifacts in from the APTL. As I said, the first one that you would run into is conflict management. The second one would be creative thinking, and these are artifacts from the APTL. They may require a brief description. They may require a title. That's fine. You don't have to write anything, a paragraph or anything extensive about that, just describing the artifact of what it is. If the artifact is self-explanatory, then you can just label it as coming from the APTL and give it its title, and that suffices as well. So, but we do need to make sure that we label our artifacts, whether we give a brief description of them or not. Please note that narrative is not an artifact. Copying and pasting from the narrative of your evidence is not an artifact. It needs to be something that was created, an agenda, an action plan. Could be a video clip of you leading a meeting, just showing us what you wrote in the narrative. A paragraph that may have been PLC research that's done in the APSL is not necessarily a artifact that shows evidence of something that you did that creates. Remember, this is something that's tangible, if you will, showing competencies in that particular area. If you think that you have something that would pertain, and when I review this and you request comments, if I have a question about something, I'll ask you, and then you can tell me why you put it in, and it may very well be an example after I understand what your thinking is. But for the most of what you submit, it will need to be an artifact that is something that would have gone into the appendix of the APTL. But I always ask a question, and we'll certainly take a look at it. Customer focus, you don't have to upload any artifact pertaining to customer focus. Delegation does not require anything from the APTL. Dialogue and inquiry does. So you would be uploading an artifact from the APTL that shows evidence of the leadership competency, dialogue, and inquiry. Emotional intelligence requires something from the APTL. Nothing for environmental awareness. Nothing for global perspective. Nothing for judgment. Organizational ability. Personal ethics and values. Personal responsibility for performance. Responsiveness. Results orientation. Sensitivity. System thinking. Technology. Time management, and visionary. So there you go. So once again, you have that spreadsheet that will go pull all those up for you, or you can just do what I did, just click through each one and say, okay, which of these competency areas is requiring something from the APTL. That's what you'll need to focus on after you upload the APTL into your DRF, is completing the competency folio for this semester. It's always a good idea to get that done every semester. Don't get behind in this, because you get to 604 and 605, you'll be busy getting ready for graduation. 604 is, you got 2 evidences to complete in 604. 605, you got a pretty extensive evidence in the PSYOP that's going to use a lot of information for everything that you've done prior to that, plus getting ready for graduation. So if you're behind in the competency folio at 604 and 605, it's going to create a lot of stress on you to get that up to date and ready and completed before graduation. So that's why it's a good idea to keep this updated now, get a good foundation built on that, get a good process and that you've developed on your own that will help you get all those artifacts in. Please remember that you don't have to do anything for digital learning competency. Those are embedded within each of the evidences. So you do not have to upload anything for digital learning competency. This is just basically information and FYI. You don't have to do anything there. The last thing that you'll need to do is upload your 80 hours for MELS 602. You uploaded 80 hours for 601. Once you complete your 80 hours for 602, you will upload them here as well. And when you get ready, you request comments from me. If you can do this several different ways, you can upload an artifact and and then request a comment from me, then upload another artifact and request a comment from me, or you can upload them all at once and then request comments. So you click on request comments. Do not click on publish share. This is for you to share your web page with someone else outside of the university. You don't need comments from them. You just want to share like you would share an app or share something that you've seen on the internet, just a web page that you would share to a friend for them to review. That's going to be used more if you wanted to send this ahead before you interviewed for a position and you wanted to take a look at your competency folio. That's when you would use this. As far as the university and the program goes, you request comments, this link here. So you request those comments, then you click on all of the leadership competencies that you've uploaded artifacts to that you want comments on. You do not click request comments on all areas. Only request comments that you have uploaded artifacts to for 602. Once you do that, you click continue, you find my name and click my name, and then you continue, and then it will tell you request comments, you submit, and I will get an email at that point in time letting me know that you uploaded artifacts that needed to be reviewed. And that's basically it. So what I'll do is when I get that email, I'll go through and I'll look at the artifacts that you requested comments on, and I'll give you a feedback. Usually it's going to be evidence, or artifact is evidence of competency, meaning that what you uploaded shows evidence of that leadership competency and you're good to go. If I have any questions, I'll write them in the comment section and ask you to follow up on them. And then if you have any additional questions, you can email me. So that's basically what I was going to go over for 602 for March the 17th. Watch this video. If you have any questions, contact me. If not, then we'll see you at our next regularly scheduled class. If you will hold on just a moment, I will let you know and confirm when that is. Let me pull that up. I believe it's March 20 something. Let me get that up here. Our next scheduled class is for MELS 602 is March the 31st. So we have our next scheduled class is MELS 602, March 31st at 7 p.m. on a Thursday. It will be a question and answer. So it'll basically just kind of be office hours. If you got any questions or you need some help, log in. If you don't have any questions or don't need any help, then certainly it's not a mandatory session where you have to attend. It will not be recorded. So you don't have to recording to watch afterwards. I want you to focus in on getting that APTL done and focus in on getting your competency folio completed there as we get into week 11, 12, 13, 14, and so on. All right, I hope you have a great evening. I hope and pray that you all stay safe and healthy, as I hope and pray that your family stays safe and healthy. This recording will go out, and of course you will have seen the email that notified you that it is ready to go, and it will be in the video library of my Blackboard ship. Get it in a minute, not ship. Blackboard internship shell. There we go. Say that 3 times fast. Hope you guys are doing great. Thank you for your attention. Reach out to me if I can help you in any way. God bless.